even back in the 60s, Dan Rather, I was watching a documentary about Dan Rather, the great newsman, and he talked about how Vietnam War, most of the guys in the platoon were mostly black, a lot of black males. And so I just think it just goes way back, just in terms of what people have kind of done to us. So long story short, I remember just going back to the self-esteem thing. I remember the deal was like I was supposed to pay a bunch of money. Again, I'm a very logical thinker, right? I'm a mathematician, so two plus two is always going to be four to me. So the deal was, you pay us $600 or $700, which is more money than I had at the time. I did not have a lot of money to burn like that, and they're like, pay us a bunch of money, and then for 6 weeks we're going to make your life a living hell. And then when you're done, and I was like, well, what do I get when I'm done? They're like, well, you get to be one of us. And I'm like, so I get accepted. So I'm paying you money and letting you torture me, letting you ruin my life and my grade point average and only God knows what. For what? For the esteem of knowing that I can be part of your group. Well, yeah, 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 yeah. You get to be one, you get to be a Q dog or an alpha or whatever, right? No disrespect to the fraternities, but it did not compute to me. And I was like, wait, so I get to be your friend, but I'm already your friend. I already know you. I see you. I say hi to you. I don't need to wear the same colors as you for us to be cool. Like, we don't have to wear the same colors. I don't, and I really don't even really want to see you much more than I already do. So where's the benefit? Where's the win? Where's the ROI? I saw no ROI. The only ROI I saw was you get to wear the jacket and be part of the group. And I saw that more as a self-esteem thing. And what I really found was interesting was I was able to save a lot of money because my self-esteem was already pretty much intact. Sure, I didn't have everything figured out. There were some things I had fears like everyone else. I had, challenges and hurdles and hills I had to climb, but I was very comfortable being by myself and very comfortable being who I was. Yeah, I know I'm not the coolest guy in the party, but I don't want to be the coolest guy in the party because the coolest guy in the party looks stupid to me sometimes. You're acting stupid so that you can be the coolest guy in the party, and that's still true. It doesn't matter even now. 30 years later, the internet is just a big high school where people want to be the coolest instead of being the instead of actually being the person that has the most substance. People want to impress you by likes and shares and clicks and views, and they do really embarrassing things, really humiliating things, degrading things, goofball, idiotic things to get likes and shares and views. And that, it to me, is not a win for you. In my opinion, a win is when, if I want to impress you, maybe I impress you with my substance. I want to impress you with what's in my brain to say, look at how well I know finance. Let me help you. Or I want to impress you by helping change your life or say something that's really profound for you that's going to benefit you. That's meaningful to me. Me getting you to pay attention to me because I did the best TikTok dance, or if I'm a woman, I'm showing lots of booty and I get lots of likes and shares for that. That to me is indicative of a deeper self-esteem problem that's very, very costly to you. So what I'm saying to you is that, going back and I'll finish up on those studies in terms of how it can affect our girls, but it affects our boys as well, is that people that have their self-esteem intact don't have to engage in these horrific exchanges with the world to get these false senses of validation from other people, right? Like a little girl who's raised with full confidence, full self-esteem is not going to keep investing her body into ratchet, disgusting, disease-ridden men just so that she can feel a little bit of love. She's already got love. She's got a big stock of, she's wealthy. She's wealthy. She's emotionally wealthy already. Let me know if you follow what I'm saying. I'm talking about wealth. Do y'all understand that I'm talking about wealth here? I hope you get what I'm saying. Because I know I sound like I'm not talking about wealth, but I really am. If you're wealthy with love, then you're not love starved. If you're love starved, then you go and you are giving things away that are valuable so that you can get the thing that you need. Do you understand? So the children, here's the thing. I think that the best job we can do for our parents, or sorry, as parents, not for our parents, as parents, is to make sure our children are not starved of the things that they need. So they don't have to go buy these things by giving away things that are very valuable, starting with money. People will give money away. Oh, I'll spend, I just made 300,000. And instead of using the 300,000 to build generational wealth, I want to spend 300,000 getting this dumbass European car from a bunch of white people who don't even like me, just so I can feel better about myself. Now I'm somebody because I'm driving this overpriced car that's declining, depreciating in value every single mile that I drive it. right? Or I'm gonna go and spend my money at the club and throw it around and put it in stripper thongs so I can be the coolest guy in the room, even though I look like Bozo the Clown right now. I look stupid because I'm throwing away my kids' generational wealth. Or you can just keep going on. Going back to the civil rights movement. I no disrespect, but I never understood this idea that I'm going to go and get beat upside the head sitting at a white man's lunch counter begging him to take my money. I saw this picture of the great James Baldwin, and he was standing in front of an ice cream shop that was owned by a white guy, and the white guy was peeking out the window, like, "Who is this Negro in front of my ice cream shop, and why is he taking a picture here?" And at the top of the ice cream shop door, it said, "This is the colored entrance," right? So they had an entrance for colored people, an entrance for white people, and there's some white liberal guy who's doing commentary on the picture, and he talks about the contrast in the picture, and I got to put it on my Instagram, the video up, because I got to go find it, but he's basically saying, like, look at the contrast in this picture. He says, here we have James Baldwin, one of the great literary minds of his generation, who is being dehumanized because he's standing in front of this sign where they won't let him in because of the color of his skin. Right? It was something like that. Like here's this great man, this giant of a man, James Baldwin, and he's being dehumanized by the fact that this ice cream shop has a colored only door and a whites only door. And I was like, no, he's not being dehumanized. Why does he have to go eat the white man's ice cream anyway when he's probably going to spit in it? What would make you think, how in the hell did I get, does he's, if he's so powerful, what in the world makes us think that he would hand over his humanity, his the right to dehumanize him to a person who clearly is not his friend? There is nothing beneficial about him being allowed to walk through the front door of another man's ice cream shop and give him all his money. In my view, the sign didn't dehumanize him. It only dehumanizes you if something inside of you makes you feel that in order for you to be a complete human being, you have to go inside this bigot's ice cream shop. I don't want to go in his ice cream shop. I don't. I don't. He can't take nothing away from me because I don't even want what he got. In order for somebody to take something from you, you have to give it to them in the first place. In order for them to take something from you, they have to at least have something that you desire. And when you desire things, you have to understand, why do I desire these things? And let me tell you, there's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. When you desire things, that makes you beholden to the people or the entities that control the thing that you desire. So that's why the Buddhists are among the smartest people on the planet, because if you know anything about Buddhism, which I don't know very much, but one thing I do know is that they do have one principle that pretty much says you should desire nothing. That desiring nothing is one of the keys to freedom. So I'm not saying you shouldn't desire anything. That's your choice, but you got to be real careful about falling in this trap of hungering for something, lusting for something, wanting something, especially when the thing that you want is coming from people who are gonna extract a high rent in order for you to have that thing. So you either A, have to train yourself not to want it, or B, if you do want it, you better get your own supply. So that little girl, she either, if she feels like she needs to be loved by a thug in order to feel complete, in order for her self-esteem to be intact, I need to be one of Future's 18, the rapper Future. I need to be one of his 18 babies mamas in order for me to feel loved and complete. And Future says, sure, just let me inject my dirty penis in your body and give you every disease I have, and then abandon you and your child and traumatize the both of you. Sure, I'll give you that in exchange for your self-esteem. If she feels that way, that's a problem. That's a deficit. That's a deficiency. And that is so to me, that deficiency will be resolved by either A, having plenty of love, of stockpile of love and support from somebody that really cares about her, like her dad. Your dad is, the dads are so important.